What's up, everyone? It is your girl GELBEAUTY 87 here, aka Grace. It's time for another why you don't need video, or do you really need? Because I don't know what I'm necessarily gonna do an eye look with this tonight, but y'all can comment down below and tell me if you want one, and then we can do a why you don't need situation. But we're gonna talk about this melt collection, honey. You know, the new, what's it, Halloweentown with Disney. Because honey, it's just, honey, when I looked at this palette, I was like, so they just recycled the what is it called, the Morte one, not Morte, the Amore Posas, because that's what I thought when I saw it. I was like, so we just recycled this, because it looks the same to me. Y'all can tell me if it looks different, but I feel like it has similar colors, and they always use these same similar colors to the point where I'm just like, okay, I don't even, why even try it? Now I see what Angie and her followers meant about being a fly bearer, because I'm like, did you forget you used these colors already? Like 17 times? Because we didn't forget. And I'm supposed to pay $60 for this palette that you didn't use these colors on 17 times. So I'm going to show the picture, I'm going to show the reel of the eyeshadow palette as usual. And then I'm going to come back and show you the palettes that I picked out from other brands. And I'm going to show you all the melt ones, because as usual, it's a multitude of those. So hold please. Okay, y'all, so you just saw the cute little reel of it and have $60 for the same colors you get from them. So I'm gonna start off with brands who I feel like brands that had similar color stories to. I'm gonna start off with this one palette just because I want to show it, because it doesn't necessarily have all the colors. I feel like it has a couple of them though, and this is my on the list palette that I created myself. So here's what she looks like on the inside. I feel like when it comes to like the brighter side of the palette with like the pinks and the purple situation, that this one looks somewhat similar, and then it has like the orange like that one does. So that's why I wanted to show it. It does have a blue, but my blue is much deeper than that one, and for once they didn't do some green, so I guess bravo for that. But here's that one. Now I'm gonna show some that are much more similar. We have the Warrior 3 from Juvia's place. I feel like it has a lot of the similar tones in it, because you know it has the pink and purple situation. Then it has some blues. The only thing it doesn't have, believe it or not, is the green, because it has the yellow and it has the orange. So it doesn't have the green, it doesn't have this red. So if you cover up these, I feel like it has a lot of the similar tones that are in that palette. It's just because it only has one blue matte. It's not probably looking as similar because it has like 2 or 3 blues in that palette. Next, I have the Witching Hour here. And I feel like, again, this looks somewhat similar, because you see you got that blue, you got that pink and purple row that they got going on. You got some orange. The only difference is they have, again, they have blue instead of green. So I feel like if this was a blue row, you'd have a dupe to the palette right here. Unfortunately, Unearthly Cosmetics does not make this palette anymore. This is their Witching Hour palette. But again, I feel like if you have this in your collection, and you just use a blue single instead of like using the greens in here, then you got the same palette. So there's that. Now let's get into all these melt dupes, because honey, I got a few. Got all these melt dupes. Like, just, that's what I'm talking about. Like, why should we buy that for $60 when all these palettes I'm about to show you have dupes of those colors? And if you take them out, so like I was saying, now, like with all those, now you'll see, like, why should you pay $60 for the exact same, like, colors again? Like, I just, why should I? There is no purpose. So let's start off with the Amore Posas palette, because I feel like this one is the one that I have the most colors in it, identical to that palette. Now please keep in mind, I did change mine around, so mine doesn't look exact. Like the original one doesn't have the blue shades in it, but it has the rest of it, like you see. Like you have this orange here, then you have these pink and purplish corally shades. Then there was like this row of ash here that I got rid of, but like all this like greenish stuff at the top. So I feel like For this round, they just replaced the greens with blues. And my whole thing is, if you have the water palette from them, because you're a water sign, you could literally just take those pans out, replace the green with the blue when you want to do a look, and then you'll have a similar look to that one. Because you have your oranges, you don't have that one pop of yellow that they have. But again, what are these? The pinks and purples that you saw. What are these? The orange that you saw. You just don't have a yellow, and then you don't have like the blues. But this still has half of that palette in it already. So why should I pay you $60 for that when I can get half that palette in here? And if you do like me and switch out the shimmers in here, you literally have the whole palette and not have to buy it all. Because you saw I got like blue shimmers in here. I don't have any blue mattes, but I have blue shimmers to go with the rest of the tone. So I don't even need to buy this palette, because I redesigned the holiday one from 2021 to not have to buy this palette at all. Next one is the Electric. Now y'all know you can switch out shades and melt palettes. I have done that in the past. I could literally just switch out some of the shades in here and get that. Because if you take out the neutral shades and put in some purples, you got the blues, you got the oranges. If I took out this green shimmer and put in a yellow matte, this palette would be redesigned as that palette. Matter of fact, I could take the yellow out of my what's that thing called? The radioactive palette, pop it in here, and it would pretty much be the same exact palette. So you changing out the what is it, the greens for the blues for once, isn't changing the fact that I feel like this one actually looks really similar to that one as well. So I'm like, how many times are we gonna do the same color stories? I mean, I understand it relates to the characters this time, but it's like, since you've done this so many times, it's hard for me to be excited about it, even with the theme behind it. Because remember, ColourPop already did Nightmare Before Christmas. They're just calling it Halloweentown, and it's like, I just don't see a reason behind me buying this. I just really don't, because if you have all four of these during the sale that you bought, you have all those colors. Because again, you can get the orangey-ish shades and the yellow shade in this one. The blues from that palette you can get in this blue palette. Again, this one has oranges and yellow, so if you don't want the reddyish one and you want the more like earthy tones and still get the yellow, and I mean, you don't have the orange but you still have the yellow, you can use this one. And then those pink and purple shades are in the Air palette. So if you have their holiday collection even from last year, you still have a good majority of these colors. How many times am I supposed to be excited about these colors? I'm gonna look at the picture and see if I can swatch and the ones that I feel like are similar and make the palette on my arm real quick, and then I'll come right back to you all. But I'm like, I don't see a purpose in me having this, because it's just more of the same. Matter of fact, I'll just do it now. Screw it. So that deep blue right here looks similar to that deep blue, so we just gonna swatch that out. Now it's not gonna necessarily be in the color order that it is, because I'm just grabbing the palettes off the top, but I'm like, I feel like it just looks really similar and it's not needed. I mean, the blues aren't gonna be exact, of course, they made sure of that part, but it's like, it's still a lot of the same stuff that's being repeated, and I'm failing to see why I'm supposed to be excited about it. Like, the blue in that one is a more sky blue, whereas this is more like a gray-ish blue. So, but see, all the blues I just showed you in that palette, here are four blues that are somewhat similar to them. Like this dark blue matches, this silvery blue matches from what I see in the picture. The only two blues that don't match are these two in the middle. But how many times are we supposed to expect blues and different colors from them with different undertones, but it's the same thing? When it comes to color, I want differences, and I don't want repeated color stories many times over. And I feel like lately that's all Melt's been doing. They've been giving you the same color story 40 times over, and they banking on the fact that since you a ride or die, you're gonna keep buying it like, you know, some other brands are. But you know, I'm just at the point where like that's not enough, especially since they changed the formula on the eyeshadows. Next is going to the Air palette, this one right here, and then we're gonna swatch out some of the shades in that, because again, some of the shades in here look similar. They're not exact, I said similar. Now we're gonna swatch this purple. So I'm swatching the deep purple for the purple shade that's up there. I don't have a light ashier shade. Is that supposed to be a shimmer or matte? So they got a light ashy matte shade that we don't have in the Air palette. But again, I can still swatch like 2 or 3 shades from the Air palette that'll justify not getting this one. And since the Air palettes have been going on sale on what do you call this website? Sephora's website, and it was on sale on their website. Again, there's no need for it. So this one isn't exact, but these two I feel like are similar to what's in the palette already. So again, we got 2 more shades that already are similar that you don't necessarily need to get this palette with. My camera battery decided to start flashing, so I'm going to go get another one, and then we move on to the Earth palette to grab like the orange and the yellow shade. And then we've really gone through just about all the palettes and got all the colors. So I'll be right back. So we did those. Now let's get into the Earth palette. Let me look at this picture again. So it's a bright orange shimmer in here. So actually you can use the Earth palette. You don't have to use the 5 palette. So if you have those 3, which are the 3 that were my preference, I didn't really care about. Well, sorry, I'm lying. I didn't really care about air or fire. But I'm going to swatch this yellow. Now it's not as bright as the yellow in that palette. But again, it's still giving you a yellow. And I'm not even that crazy about the color story of this palette. So there's that whole situation. Yellow and... So here's all colors that already exist in their line. They're supposed to be like similar to the palette that I showed you at the beginning of the video. So I feel like all of them look pretty similar, and if I honestly just redid my Mariposa that I'm about to give you swatches of in a second, then it would look somewhat similar. But again, remember, these are water, air, and earth. So we just used 3 palettes from last year and did some swatches of similar tones that they already have according to that picture that I showed you. Now they're not exact, that's why I'm saying similar, because the yellow isn't bright enough. This pink isn't the right tone. And there wasn't an extra light purple for me to swatch. So some of it isn't the same, but the fact that the good majority of it is the same, and I can sit here and swatch colors from the same brand about the same situation, is just like, we need an intervention. Like, why can't they just do what I suggested and make the shapeshifter stack and come up with some fun like duochrome, multichromes, and then, you know, some jewel tone mattes, since they love to do a dark matte everywhere. Like, you could have did that, and maybe that would have been something different for us as opposed to more of the same. But I just feel like we keep getting more of the same. And it's like, how long am I supposed to keep supporting and go along with you giving me the same thing 50 times over? Like, and I know you can say, well, you do that with Pat McGrath. That's because Pat McGrath at least puts special shades in everything that she does when she repeats it. Like, you'll get special shades in there. Or you'll get a really gorgeous, like, metallic shade that looks stunning on the lid that like makes you excited about that. Plus she does a lot of wearable everyday colors because she wants you to get value out of these. These aren't everyday wearable colors, and then you keep repeating the same non-wearable everyday colors, and I'm supposed to be excited about it. At least with Pat McGrath and Charlotte and Natasha, they're doing it. It's like they're giving you wearable colors that you can wear consistently all the time for the price point that they're charging, and you get like special shades and other things like that. Like Natasha gave you a whole new formula, even though it was a boring palette. So it's like, at least they're doing other things. I feel like they keep doing the same thing, and then they change the quality of the mattes where they're not as pigmented either. So it's like, what am I supposed to be excited about? So now we're gonna go into this one and swatch out the shades. Now I'm not gonna swatch out the shades I added, which would basically just be the shimmers. All the mattes in here are the same mattes. I just, you know, changed the shimmers. So we're gonna swatch the purples in here again, and then we're gonna swatch the oranges in here again. There is no yellow, so we're not gonna do that, and there's no blues, but again, we're gonna show that you have plenty more of these same colors. So we get to this purple, taking that dark purple, swatching it. Okay, y'all, so here are the shades that I swatched out of this palette. Thank goodness with this one, it wasn't as many, but I feel like it only wasn't as many because for once they didn't use blue. So I took the 2 purples from the bottom row, then I took the orange shimmer and the lighter yellowish orange shimmer from the top row. So I did these 2 right here off camera, and then this one and this one off camera to give you the swatches that you have now. But I just feel like with all the stuff coming from them, like I don't necessarily need to buy this palette, just because I'm like, you know, I just showed y'all a whole bunch of different palettes. I feel like I could pull out the radioactive palette as well and pull some of the shades from there, even though I switched out some of the shades in it, and it would have have some similar tones in as well. So it's like, I'm gonna stop here though, but I'm just like, I feel like I could keep pulling and keep finding stuff to justify me not getting this palette. That's why I'm like, let me show them like how I feel about it, because I'm like, there's so many palettes and every year they keep to a same color theme, and then they've changed their formula on top of when it comes to the mattes. At least I've been hearing a lot of people say that, and I can understand that, because I feel like they used to be way more pigmented than they were with the last couple of palettes we've tried. So I'm kind of just like, huh? But you all can comment down below and tell me what you think. Do you plan on buying it? I know one of my friends loves the whole collection and plans on buying it. She buys the male collections there are. So I'm wondering if they're just begging on people like her to buy this stuff and not necessarily looking to get new customers. Because it's like, if all your stands already have these colors 50 times over and we're getting better formulas and better quality from other people, and you've changed the quality of your mattes from where they were to where they are now, it's like, it doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't entice me to buy anything anymore. And I think I'm actually going to skip this. I'm not even going to try to review it for y'all. I'm going to just be upfront with it. But you can comment down below and tell me if you want me to review any of the palettes I showed you swatches of and make an eye look with them to justify you not buying it if you own any of them. So comment down below and tell me what you think. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I try not to be negative about this, but it's just like, I feel like the last like 2 years they just keep giving us the same thing over and over and over again. I'm just like, I can't even justify buying it this time. So be blessed, girl. Bye.